What's good? So I just finished up the grind for the free-to-play Super Agility Vados unit, so I do want to go ahead and showcase this unit and see how she is potential-wise. This will be on the Universe 6 / Universe Survival Saga category setup. For those that missed the last summons video, I was able to pull 2 copies of the Dokkan Fest hit unit, so luckily I have the proper category leads for this. As always, let's go ahead and cover the stats and then we'll go in and break down the details. So again, this is the free-to-play unit of the Super Agility Vados unit that's available in the story event. Leader skill is Universe 6 category, Ki +2 HP attack and defense increase of 66%. The super attack will cause supreme damage to enemy and also lowers attack. The passive skill is a high chance to evade enemies' attack. This also includes super attacks as well. Also, Universe 6 category allies, Ki +2 attack and defense increase of 30%. So she is a good supporting unit for the Universe 6 category teammates. In terms of links, you are looking at the Innocence, that is 10% to attack. Brainiacs attack and defense increase of 10%. Rival Duos 10% increase to attacked enemies defense minus 15%. Cold Judgment is 20% increase to defense. Shocking Speed is +2 Ki. Godly Power is 15% increase to attack. And finally, Shattering the Limit is +2 Ki. This unit falls into 2 categories. One is the Realm of Gods, and the other being what you're seeing right now, which is the Universe 6. In terms of the stats, at 100%, you're looking at HP of 11,220, attack of 10,363, and defense is 6,863. 12 Ki Multiplier is 130%. Again, the high chance to evade enemies' attack, that is an equivalent of 50% chance. So just to give you a reference, the potential levels I decided to allocate to her was level 11 additional attack and level 15 criticals. I kind of wanted to keep the evasion levels at 0 just to see how effective the high chance to evade enemies' attacks would be. Again, the great thing about free-to-play units is essentially you can farm, a lot of extra copies, and if you decide to not, like what your current setup is, you can always go in and change it. Obviously, it's going to cost, some words behind that changes, but it's a great feature of the free-to-play type of units. So that was really the whole point of this video. Really is to see how she is. Defense-wise in terms of evading enemy attacks based on just the passive alone, but also the ability to provide support to, Universe 6 category allies. So it is a +2 Ki attack and defense increase of 30%. Throughout most of the video, I did link her up with the tech hit unit just to see, honestly, how they would pair up with each other. And you'll see, other units come in the rotation like Ultra Instinct Goku that shares the, the Godly Power Link skill, and then other units include Topo and Caulifla, and a couple of other units. They all do share similar links to some extent. I thought about doing this on a Realm of Gods category setup, but since her passive really is meant for Universe 6 type units, and unfortunately hit doesn't fall into that, I decided to go ahead and do it on this Universe 6 category setup. Since I was fortunate enough to pick up the unit, might as well showcase it on this particular category. So again, based on testing it, she does tend to evade a pretty decent amount. That high chance does equate to a pretty frequent number of dodges against the enemy, and that's with 0 levels toward evasion. So if you want to really prioritize, I would say like additional attack and evasion, because this is honestly, at the end of the day, it's a purely supporting type unit. You're not going to expect this unit to hit for a whole lot, even though I've seen her attack stats go up to about 445k depending on who else is on the rotation. But bottom line is she's really a support unit, so I think it's certainly not a bad idea to go additional attacks to get that attack decrease against the enemy part from the super attack, and then the evasion obviously to activate the levels toward dodging in case the passive skill doesn't activate. So that's certainly a way to go about it. Again, just to keep the potential levels of evasion at 0, I decided for this showcase to have it at 0 for dodge, and then 11 for additional attack, and 15 for criticals. And by the way, the tech hit unit, I know it's been out on global for quite some time, but it's the first time JP got it, so it's kind of a good reminder that the super attack animation is definitely pretty nice. It's badass. I mean, it kind of really kind of does a good job in terms of personifying how hit is. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just a cold-blooded assassin. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely reflects that, and it's pretty nice. So for this one, we'll just go ahead and hit the Dokkan mode activation, and just see how much it would actually help with the Vados unit and the rotation. Now, in the grand scheme of things, you probably could use her really as a floater, and not so much in the first, second slot. But if there are a lot of attacks incoming in certain locations, then you could certainly put her there. I mean, it's obvious. It's always going to be a chance in terms of whether she'll dodge or not, but with the category leader skills of 170% and all that, most of the units are going to be able to defend pretty well, so it's not even absolutely necessary. The thing worthwhile testing for this unit probably would be how helpful will this unit be on Battlefield or Super Battle Road, that kind of setting. It might help. She does fall into the Realm of Gods category, so it's certainly an option to see if the unit's helpful or not. Again, I'll probably do that at some point, but just wanted to do a flat-out normal formatted showcase for now. I think the bottom line, my impression of this free-to-play Vados unit is, yeah, she definitely does dodge pretty frequently. I mean, a high chance does equate to a 50% chance. I mean, that's 1 in 2 chances if we talk strictly within the numbers. So, it's certainly a pretty good odds if you think about it. On top of that, she's got a pretty good supporting type passive. I mean, 30% toward both attack and defense, and then +2 Ki for allies within the Universe 6 category. I mean, that's probably going to be pretty good. It's always good to go ahead and farm these types of units and at least unlock the dupe paths, because even with like Super Battle Road, eventually they're going to increase the stages, and with that in mind, it's going to be more category stages probably. So that could certainly be something to think forward a little bit and plan ahead. Again, I mean, I always farm the free-to-play units and get the max, SA to max at least, and then unlock all 4 dupe paths, and then just let it sit there for now. But it's always good to at least have the option of maxing out a unit if you end up wanting to, instead of having to wait for the story event to come back around. Whether it really depends too, because it could be a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever down the road. So you never know exactly when a story event's going to come back. So I think it's just smart to just go ahead and farm it while you can. And by the way, she does not fall into the Peppy Gals category, so it would have been pretty helpful, I guess, with Super Battle Road with that, but she doesn't fall into that. So the other thing about the hit unit is a very good partner for the Jiren unit. Not only do they share a few link skills, again, the hit unit does have abilities built in to stun the enemy. So that's only going to help Jiren in terms of, if Jiren's passive doesn't activate, then, Hit could come in and sweep the field, stun some enemies, and, that's pretty much a guaranteed critical for Jiren. So, definitely beneficial to have that unit paired up with Jiren. I would say probably in terms of how I would run a team within the setup, I would probably just keep those 2 guys in the same rotation. Potentially have Vados and serving more or less as a floater type, similar to how Topo would be used. Even though Topo does provide an attack increase based on the super attack, it's hard to give up other the first and second slot to him versus other units that are much better. So that's kind of like the dilemma with that one, but. Again, I mean, a lot of team building flexibilities. I am working on the Champa unit. That's why you don't see him on the video right now, but I am working on that one for the, you know, SA farming and all that stuff. So once that's done, I'll probably end up doing an actual Universe 6 team showcase. So it'll definitely be on the lookout for that. But again, I just wanted to do the free-to-play Vados showcase real quick, and then, you know, we'll do some more stuff down the road. So as always, I do appreciate you watching. Definitely stay tuned for the next one, and I'll catch you guys later.